Greetings everybody, my name is Ben, otherwise known as Traveller, and as I did promise, as of when I upload this video, hopefully after or sometime later of the Japanese dub, we would get round to Volume 3, and by we, I mean my special guest, Tone.
Greetings, this is Dulcet Tone. Pleasure to be here again. Thank you very much.
No problem, you're always welcome around these parts. Unless you have something bad to say about me, then you should start running. Anyway, we're going to get down to the big news that was released during RTX. Volume 3. Concept art, some voice actors were announced, and some other stuff which we'll get into. Now, this is where a sort of problem comes in, or in case a hindrance to Tone's problem, because he was not at RTX. I attended RTX during my holidays.
And I wish you would let me know that you were in the States.
It was kind of a last minute problem.
Okay.
I had to run, you know. Yeah, it was a long trip.
How were you going to run? Did you run on the water?
I am fast.
Okay, Sonic.
No. Anyway, we're going to start off with some small stuff, and then we're going to move on to Volume 3 with some of the stuff that I know, and some reactions, or news that I can tell, or stuff that I know I can tell. Anyway, RWBY Grim Eclipse, the game, now official. Release date, probably going to be November, December of this year.
They did say they were trying to get it out for the holiday season.
So this also is going to be released on Steam. I'm saving up.
How much do you think it's going to be?
Well, we live in two different countries. For UK, I'd say maybe £10, maybe a little less. I don't know.
I would say, from a US standpoint, it would probably be about $15.
Fair enough then. I guess that would make sense.
For a new IP game that's never really been tested outside of anywhere, yeah.
It's the game that I played was the current build that was shown in the trailer. And from what I played, I only played as Blake, and I went round again and played as RWBY. I only played as with the controller, not with a keyboard like I did last time when I did Grim Eclipse. But the game feels smoother, but the camera doesn't feel right.
A lot of games in the 3D era have had problems with cameras. I mean, look at the Sonic Adventure series.
Yeah, but when were they released?
Okay, but at that point they had never done anything with 3D Sonic before. This is the first time they're working with this as well, I would say.
That is true. That is a fair point. But if criticism is criticism, I will just admit that the camera was a little tank-ish. And the gameplay was fluent. I'm kind of a big fan of fighters, so like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter Cross Tekken is one of my favorites.
Yeah, but that's all on a 2D plane, other than like Soul Calibur, which is kind of 2.5.
Meh. But the combo system felt very similar to that. Also, as you said when we were talking about this a while ago, you said it felt like Dynasty Warriors, or seemed like that.
Well, I've played the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games, and they have all this traveling across zones to reach objectives and defend them. And from the gameplay I've seen, it looks similar to that, but with fewer characters and fewer mobs.
Well, from what I can see, is the mobs are similar to that of Grim Eclipse, where there are just like a very set amount of few, unlike in the Dynasty Warrior series where you have a whole army and you're the only one with a few brain cells to hit things. When it comes to like the locations where you have to defend, I didn't see them, so I don't know if they're going to be in the game. I cannot confirm that, but
I did see gameplay videos from people who snuck in video cameras, and there were actually objectives that could be destroyed, and someone even failed a mission because they couldn't defend it.
I didn't see that, but I wasn't really doing much apart from a free play mode, where it was more similar to that of the original Grim Eclipse, where you had to survive for as long as you can, and that was what I was doing. Because I wanted to test more of the controls rather than the mission basis.
Right.
I'll leave that to a teamwork thing. But yeah, that's more of the game that I can talk about that I know. Because I don't think Team Juniper has been announced as characters.
No, that's actually not true. I did see a video that was like an unofficial interview with the game developers, and they said that obviously they will be working on it, but they wanted to get the core of the gameplay and the core characters out before the end of the year.
So, guessing DLC.
At this point, they're not officially announcing it as DLC, but like patch add-ons.
Oh dear.
I think maybe if they did do DLC, it would be different skin characters, kind of like how the Naruto games go.
Or J-Stars, if you want to look at that. If you've played it. Yeah, as I said, that's all I know. I've played it. I think it's a great game. I think the models and everything else looks great.
Yeah, it looks really accurate, and they do seem to go towards their own fighting styles.
They have Foreverfall, White Castle, and though the snowy place hasn't been given a proper name that I know. But yeah, the snowy place where you originally were is bigger, and you can still go there. That's all I can remember. Next we get on to the big news. Volume 3.
Goody.
Now, I came into this pretty late. When I attended the RWBY panel, I sat down sort of, maybe like 1/5 of the way through. I missed the gameplay portion of when they were talking about Grim Eclipse, but I was there during where they were showing promotional art and some merchandise that they're going to sell prior. But the current poster that was shown shows Team RWBY during the games. This means it's going to be a big plot to the series, or the volume. And nothing was mentioned about the games that we can gather from, apart from something that was hinted, which was that Team RWBY aren't going to be the only team that are fighting against just random people. They will be fighting against people we know. That could be Juniper, or the current Cinder group, or maybe... Cardinal? You think that would happen?
Well, I'm sure that there's plenty, but I think there's this whole qualifying rounds thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But didn't they show something that explained how the workup of the tournament was going to be?
Yes and no. I think yes, they did show something, but I don't think they explained
No,
it.
there was actually a video that had Oobleck and Port talking about it.
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about now. Yes, they were explaining about the qualifying rounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How each team will be going up against... Oh, I can't remember who it go... I think they go up against other people that want to qualify for it.
It goes in a round of teams of 4. Then each team that moves on gets to nominate 2, and then nominate 1 for the finals.
Mm-hmm. So, here's a good question for this. Who do you want to see in the finals?
I'm not even going to touch that at the moment. There's going to be so much speculation and so much hate if a lot of people don't get their favorites in the finals.
RWBY and John, sexual tension, RWBY and John.
No comment.
Because you know I'm right. Partly. Anyway, apart from the poster, they also released some artwork for 6 characters. 2 that we have only heard, well, 4 that we've just heard of, and 2 which were hinted at. Which were Crow, or if you want to use his full name, Crow Barrelwen. Is that
Baron Wen?
Baron Wen? Crow Barrelwen. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, he's being played by Vic Mick-Gon no Gan.
Wow, you completely butchered that.
You say it then.
Vic Mignogna.
I will silence you soon. Fine. Anyway, yeah, we now know who's being voiced by. Another character that was also announced was Waishini's mother, Winter.
Wait. Excuse me, what? Say that one more time?
What? Another character that was announced was Waishini's mother.
Wrong!
Are you gonna say sister?
Sister.
Oh god, no. Oh, I still hate that feeling that I don't think it's her sister.
They mentioned her sister Winter in the episode in season 2.
I don't like it though. It doesn't feel right.
I knew this was going to happen the moment that Weiss said that she always wanted bunk beds as a kid. The only difference is I didn't expect it to be an older sister, I expected it to be a twin sister.
Ugh, I hope she dies either way.
Wow.
Yes, I am very terrible of this, but I don't want this to happen.
You know what I want to see first, if anything?
Go ahead.
I want to see some Winter Jean shipping.
Ha! Ha!
Just
ha.
for the exact opposite of Weiss and Jean, because she kept blowing him off, that Winter just pegs him as her love interest and tries to steal him away.
Speaking of shipping, we now know of two characters that are shipped officially, which are Jean and Pyrrha, but there have been some tension between Blake and San, and also Weiss and
Neptune.
I can't remember the other one. There we go. Thank you. Those are the only 2 other ships that haven't been confirmed, but have been hinted at. And then the next bit of announcement that was shown for Volume 3 is a new team.
Can we?
I have no idea about them.
Can we go back to the shipping for a minute? Now, the nod in season 2 to the shipping names with the attacks. I so want to hear Sun yell "Sea Monkey."
Wait, what?
Just Sea Monkey. Look it up.
If you're gonna say it's a certain...
It is a yaoi ship.
Okay. You just explain what
I don't need to. Just Sea Monkey. That's their shipping name. I just want to hear Sun yell in battle to Neptune, Sea Monkey, and they start fighting.
Oh.
Just so that they acknowledge that the ship exists.
I don't want them to do this anymore. No more shipping.
Well, I like how they're making fun of the shipping.
If they're gonna make a ship canon, Blake and Yang, please.
Well, they already said Bumblebee.
I've already said it, just make it canon.
No, they already made a canon as an attack.
As an attack, but not as an actual thing. Think about it. We all want it.
That's subjective.
Barbara wants it.
Again, that's subjective. Barbara doesn't know what she wants half the time.
I want a dream. I can dream as much as I want. Anyway, can we now go on to the new team?
Of course.
I have no idea on them. We came up with just random nicknames for them, or random places where we've noticed them from. Because one that you said was looking Jet Set Radio Future stuff.
Yeah, the guy on the far right.
I said one looked like it was Ryu from Street Fighter. Because of that yellow belt that he wears. Looks
the
familiar.
second guy looks like a gender bent Korra.
Yeah, actually. That's not a bad one. But we can't think of the female.
I came up with one, but just a moment ago.
Go ahead.
Matryoshka on crack.
Really?
That's all I got.
Oh god. Oh dear.
And considering that song is pretty much already on crack.
Yeah, what am I gonna do with you? Anyway. Yeah, there was nothing really said about the new team. Only that there's a new team. And we'll see of them later. It was similar to that of, I don't know, the whole team reveal, the new team. I don't know what they're called.
They had the syllables in the top left there, that image.
No, I'm not talking about the image. I mean, it's similar reveal to Coco's team.
Oh.
You know what I mean? When they revealed Coco's like whole group, it's a similar thing to that. We don't know who they are. We just had to estimate.
I'm guessing that their team name is going to spell STPD.
Sounds like a police department.
No, it's Team Stupid.
We'll see about that when the volume begins. Anyway.
You know, you and I could be on Team Stupid.
Wait, what?
You're Traveler, I'm Dulcet, we just need S and P.
Oh, yeah. I guess we can think of some others for that. Anyway. Other news from Volume 3 is some concept art of the actual games and the outer rim of the games. The outer area of the games is also a nod to Harry Potter that both you and I actually predicted back in Season 2, when you were talking about the dance scene. You said it reminded you of Harry Potter.
Well, yes, of course it did.
Well, do you remember the concept art that showed the outside area, sort of a festival-looking place?
Mm-hmm.
You remember in the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the one it reminds me of. And also, the inner section of the games, which now has just reminded me of someplace, is Chan's Island from Ninjago Season 4. I am a big fan of Ninjago.
Never watched it, unfortunately, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, one to their own, I always say. But yeah, the arena inside the games, though the purpose and the actual suited functions of the arena have not been specified, have only just been showed in concept, show that the arena can change environment to snow and fire, more specifically ice glaciers and magma. This doesn't seem right to me. Why would you have environmental hazards in a combat arena?
Adapting to different combat situations, or if they're being judged on a point system, dealing with those types of obstacles and still winning.
We're going to have to wait until the Season 3 trailer comes out, aren't we, to find out?
I think we'll have to wait even longer than that, because knowing how the Season 2 trailer went, considering that really they showed only the bulk of the first 4 episodes in it.
Well, as I said, from the teaser poster, that's what I'm calling it, basically showed off a lot of them of Team RWBY in the games. If the games are going to be a big focus, then maybe if you say the main 4 episodes, in the trailer will show off more of the games, or at least some hint onto how they work.
Well, in that same clip with Oobleck and Port, they actually cut to the fight scene in progress between this new team and Team RWBY.
Well, I guess we know who's starting off the match. I guess this will be a fun volume after all.
It was definitely a very rough cut of the combat. There was a lot missing. There was a lot of there was no audio whatsoever.
Is this similar to the rough cuts of Volume 1 and Volume 2, where all of the explosions and gun sound effects were replaced by raptors?
No. This was actually where it was clearly an unfinished product with just the base models without effects, and a lot of motion data was missing.
Oh well. We'll get to see it soon. But that's all I have on RWBY Volume 3. Well, that I know. Nothing else comes to mind apart from that of the merchandise, how the whole of Team Juniper has been shown off and Ren has been announced to finally be one of the figurines. And also those weird doll things.
Those ridiculously expensive dolls. The RWBY one alone was under $20.
I don't particularly care of them. I've seen all 4 of them. I prefer my statues, which I have the whole of Team RWBY and
Plus,
more.
they're a lot cheaper. I mean, you could order the entire set for the amount that one of those dolls was.
Yep. Thank God. Anyway, that's all I can tell you about Volume 3. That I know.
Though I wish they had an Nendroid and a Figma.
Wait,
I wish they had a Nendroid and a Figma.
Huh. I guess the Ninjago references keep coming in. Nindroid. I'll explain to you after the video.
No, I'm talking about the 2 figurine types that Good Smile Company puts out in Japan. The Nendroids, which are the little SD chibi figurines of characters from anime, and the Figma, which are highly posable, more accurate figures to anime. Which are actually still quite cheap when it comes to figures. But they're relatively high quality.
Yeah. And as I said, it sounded like you said Nindroid. I'll have to explain that later. Anyway, that's all I have on RWBY Volume 3. My time at RTX? Hell yeah, it was fun.
How many cosplayers?
Too many to count, but from the RWBY status I count 25.
Any really original ones?
Just one. One that I noticed.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
It was a blend, sort of. Do you know the character that was a fan art that used Yang's sort of Twitter poster, where she was facing in the mirror taking a selfie, if you know what that Twitter post? But then someone changed it to a Faunus with lighter blonde hair and different clothing. Yeah, that.
Interesting.
Someone came dressed up as that.
That is rather original.
Yep. She was rather good at it as well.
I wonder if I'm pretty sure someone probably came in as one of those Mark Zhang OCs.
Yeah, most likely. Apart from that, not to keep on anything RWBY related, just to quickly end up on my time at RTX, X-Ray and Van look good. I've been watching that series.
I was okay with it on the first season, but the second, I just didn't get into it.
It seems forced to me, but oh well.
Well, the entire thing is forced. I mean, it's all achievement hunter gags.
Yeah, but hey, they're living a cartoon dream. Oh well. But yeah, that is RWBY Volume 3 and My Time at RTX. Is there anything you would like to close off, or any thoughts about Volume 3 that you would like to talk about too?
I would have at least liked to have heard a quarter in which it was about going to come out.
But we'll get to know that soon. Probably after Grim Eclipse has been released.
Most likely. Who knows, there might be an Easter egg that'll reveal it in there.
I hope so. Hey, maybe those new characters will become as DLC.
Oh.
Or patch characters, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, they said that they want to try to make this thing as replayable as Left 4 Dead.
Here's a hint. Let the community mod the death out of it.
I don't know if they'll be doing it, but at least not at first, but I think they probably will in the end.
They have Steam. They should have access to the Steam Workshop. Well, hopefully they can get access to one.
Ooh, would that
But
mean
hey,
that the RWBY characters might actually be available in SFM?
Maybe.
That would be interesting.
Well, they are on Steam. You just need to find a way to rip the character models and make sure they're perfect enough to be put into there. But knowing the complexity about the Half-Life models and Portal models, yeah, I don't see a problem with them actually getting into Sourcefile Maker. And hey, I'm not really a 3D computer generated expert. I only know a little bit about it.
I mean, if they manage to, if someone managed to actually recreate the models, show accurate, it immediately would dance.
That would please so many people.
They've done it.
Really?
Yeah, they've done the RWBY girls and Adam.
Huh. Oh yeah, I remember seeing them several times. I always wondered what that was called. Anyway, that is Volume 3, and that is our little random ramble stuff about RTX as well, added in there at the end, for fun. And as always, my name is Ben, otherwise known as the Traveller, and...
with much solidarity, Dulcet tone.
And we'll hope to see you guys in the next video. Doodles.
Bye.